Something very interesting happened last night. In the middle of the night, I heard this crash. And so I go running outside, and there's a bear in my driveway. And I have this garbage can next to the garage that I throw wood scraps in when I'm working in the garage with my table saw and whatnot. And he thought that it was probably garbage, and he knocked it over, and chunks of wood just went flying everywhere. So I go out and I chase him, and he goes up on the hill, and I have to pick it all up, and I think nothing of it. So the next morning, I get up and I come down to the orchard here, and the orchard's about 100 feet from the house. And this gate here had been pushed in, and the latch for it, I don't know if you can see the latch on the camera, this latch had bent like this. So what he did was he pushed the gate here. He didn't come around any of this where he could easily, I think, probably mow down the fencing, but he pushed the gate open and went in and ate a bunch of my apples down there, which not that big of a deal. I mean, I've still got a ton of apples, but and so I knew right away that they're pretty smart. So I knew right away that he's going to be coming back looking for more stuff. So I needed to replace this. I always thought that this gate was just perfectly fine. You know, it was just to, mostly I had this gate up to keep the deer out. If the deer come along, and this, you know, and I knew that the wind wouldn't push it open. So it was perfectly fine for me. I never thought about bears coming in and doing that. So I have decided that I am replacing this fence. I'm getting rid of this old chain link one. And what I've done is I went and purchased a different one. This gate here is just like the one I have in the north garden. And I got this at Home Depot. And what you do is you set this to the distance that you want. In other words, you can move it out as far as you want. And then you take 2x4s and you run 2x4s along the top, the width that you want the gate. This post here was leaning out. And so the top rail is about a ½ an inch longer than the bottom. So I just have to adjust for that. So, yeah, animals, you know, it's just, I guess the thing is, I mean, you have to kind of battle anything no matter where you live, right? In the city, you have to, battle a lot of crime and whatnot, and here, it's just a different kind of animal you have to deal with in the city, right? So, anyways, that's what I'm doing here. Now, of course, if this doesn't keep the bear out, then I'm just going to have to build my own with, 4x4s, 2x4s and stuff, but, or maybe even weld a metal one myself. But this should work. So now all you do is, once you've got your distance set and your boards, your horizontal boards in, then you take your fence boards and then put them on here and put your latch here. That should work. And then I'm going to also put boards across here, just tack them on, because I mean, the fence boards will go about to here, I think, but just to make it look like it's even taller, because I actually have a friend who has on his trail cam a mule deer jumping over his 6-foot fence from a standstill. So those things, I'll tell you what, animals, when they have it in their mind that they're going to do something, they will just keep going until they're, until they achieve their goal. The cool thing about this is I'm just about an inch from the ground, and I'm leaving 11 inches at the top. And then I'm just going to eyeball this, you know, like about, what is that, about an inch? About an inch, 3/4 of an inch or so. Just like that. And then I'll see where I'm at when I'm at the end. But I did bring some smaller strips if I need to put smaller ones on the end. And I'm just putting one in because this top piece is an inch longer than the bottom. So I'm just going to put one in and then stand back and kind of adjust them. And I'm just eyeballing these, the space in between. I don't care. Way down here in the orchard, the bears aren't going to measure it. They don't care. The squirrels, they're like, who cares? Whew, I better go get one more. Okay, I kind of just stood back and kind of eyeballed it. Because this is an inch longer on this side, it didn't, you know, I measured it from the top here, and so I had to butt this one closer to this. It looks okay, it's not great. And I'm going to take a piece of metal and put a piece of metal across here because these could be pulled off. And these screws could just rip right through. So I'm going to put one down on the bottom and one here, and I'm going to reinforce right across the middle here with a piece of a big metal bar. That way it won't push through. And then I'm going to put, I'm 6'2", so this is just about right. And so up here I'm going to be putting some boards across between these two posts. And hopefully that's going to work. I think it will. I think it's going to be so much better than that chain link. For one thing, there's no visual. If a deer, especially, if a deer can't see what's on the other side of a fence, they won't bother trying to go through. They'll walk right on by it because they get kind of scared about what they're going to be getting into. Bears don't jump over something. They'll just push their way through and just bend the fence like they did with that old one. So anyways, yeah, I'm going to reinforce it. I'm going to definitely reinforce this thing. You know, I just love these self-tapping screws. No drilling. Nothing. Perfect.